Okay, so amazingly enough, this week I don't have a spoiler-riddled, ultra-violent, semi-gross review for you. This movie just came out this year, and I already had to contend with YouTube over Geostorm, a 3-year-old movie, and my usage of clips available on YouTube to compile the damn review. I literally used clips from the Hong Kong version, which means it had a slew of subtitles obscuring it, but mainly I used clips from a YouTube channel, which I suspect has something to do with the Red Dragon there, because the copyright strike was under both Warner Brothers and some sort of international distribution company I've never heard of. Yeah, thanks, YouTube. I mean, what can I say though, honestly? This movie is named Greenland. Let's start there. Honestly, in reality, this was far, far better and far more plausible a movie than Geostorm was, as far as earth-shattering asteroid movies go.
We're on a road to nowhere.
You can't be serious.
How fast are you going?
15 miles an hour over the speed limit.
Given the couldn't you find it in your heart to give my friend here a fighting chance of being with the one he loves before we all reach our untimely conclusion?
No.
The characters struggled between the situation at hand and their own flawed traits, and that's what you want in terms of a character-driven movie, is to have the sort of fallibilities of the characters create issues for them. Greenland was written by Chris Sparling, who honestly has penned a bunch of movies I've never heard of, but he's gotten the likes of Naomi Watts, Matthew McConaughey, and Ken Watanabe to act in those movies, so I think it's a good start. Usually in his projects he's both writer and director, but in this case he's only writing. Behind the camera was Rick Roman Waugh, W-A-U-G-H. He's given us Felon and Shot Caller, both of which are very similar prison dramas, and Snitch, which has a very forgettable Dwayne Johnson, and Angel Has Fallen, which is the third in the Has Fallen series. I liked Felon, but I haven't seen any of the other films, and I haven't gotten to Angel Has Fallen, but I'll never forget.
With all due respect, I'm the best hope you've got.
So, in trying to keep it spoiler-free, I'm not going to give you a blow-by-blow of what went down. This is going to be difficult, but let's see how I managed to do. So Gerard plays John Garrity, a structural engineer and everyday working man. Earth is on the lookout for rogue astral bodies passing through their solar system and possibly by the planet harmlessly. No big deal. On a normal day, during a normal week, he gets a call from the government letting him know to go to an emergency shelter. Again, no big deal. Thank God his phone was on. Thank God his phone was not dead or broken, or that he even had a phone in the first place. There's definitely no kinks in that strategy.
Not a great plan.
He rushes home to his lovely, immaculate wife, Allison, played by Morena Baccarin, who will always be Gretchen. Now, Gretchen has no idea what's going on. She's hanging out with her friends, drinking some wine, playing Twister, having a good time. It seems Gretchen was also in the shower when the message was delivered. Again, U.S. government.
Not a great plan.
From there, we also meet his son, Nathan. Nathan has diabetes, which plays a role in both the problems the Garrity family undergoes, as well as the government's response to those with pre-existing conditions. Let's just say, yeah, they don't give a fuck.
You burnt.
But from there, a lot of cell phone hijinks ensue. Neighbors want to know if they got it or why they didn't. No one explains why the wife's phone doesn't continuously get the message, or why it hasn't checked, why she hasn't checked for it, since it's been sent. Be that as it may, after they get past the early parts of the hijinks during the movie, it unfolds pretty gracefully. Choices, both good and bad, made by both characters and the government in the form of their response to the crisis feels pretty pragmatic. In a lot of cases, that's quite sad, actually, and it provides for good drama. I believe it's when you can affect your audience through the hardships of your characters and what they undergo that you've actually achieved some good writing, and he does so very well here. As I stated earlier, the director has had his hand in some prison movies, and the writer is known for his independent movie work, so it's a pretty good combination.
It's called Yes!
So, no spoilers, but part of the emotional drive for the audience is the fact that Gerard's character has sullied the marriage somehow, and he was just beginning to mend things together before all of this end-of-the-world stuff. You know how it goes, it happens. But it's definitely a movie worth seeing, so much so that I've actually struggled to conceive of a decent review to convey interest. Maybe I just love spoiling shit.
Stop it. Get some help.
But really, its compelling writing and performances by the entire cast is only compounded by the score. David Buckley has a pretty prolific list, but most of it seems to include children's television, Wonder Woman, the 50 Shades of Grey series, and Metal Gear Solid 4. I'll just take the last one and I'll run with it.
It's called Yes! Yes!
That said, it's definitely worth checking out. Here's a little bit of trivia for you on your way out the door. Chris Evans, Captain America, was actually set to be Gerard's character with Neil Blomkamp from District 9 in Elysium directing. At that point, I would have been sensing more of a misanthropic tone from the movie with that pairing. You know, something like Snowpiercer meets The Purge. Sam Elliott was set to play Allison's father, but the talks broke down. Either would have worked for me. Scott Glenn, he played Stick on Daredevil, if you guys recall, so he was pretty good in it. And there's honestly not a whole lot of trivia. The movie was pretty straightforwardly conceived and filmed. No issues to be heard of. No sort of alternate versions or endings. It's pretty rounded. There we go. I highly recommend you check out this movie. With that, please like, share, and subscribe. And that's a wrap, everybody.
Shut it down. Shut it down.